and welcome back to the Valley, the old farm. If you haven't watched the previous episode, I encourage you to do so. You find out exactly what it is I'm doing here. And for those of you who have watched the previous episode, it is now on day 2. I spent time up while I was off screen to skip through the night, as it was almost dark by the time I finished episode 1. I think I'm currently on real time just now though, just to save some of the day. I have no idea what time it actually is, but we're almost finished this field here. We'll find out how much we get for it. Are you going to take this? No, why would you? Why would you? Any second now. There we go. £4,337. While I remember, let me just change it to euros. So we're about 309,000 euros now. Turn the indicators off, start the engine. Bit of random swerving there. So do a completely legal U-turn. As I say, that's a field, but oh, I suppose it is. I was just looking at the map the wrong way. So we want to go back into our incredibly bumpy farm track here, preferably on the track though. So we own that grass field there as well, but we're going to keep that one as grass, as it's a bit close to the fence to change. That is a hell of a puddle. So this time we're going to go around this way and park our lorry right here. And go back over to our workers' mess. He's left us over here. Left the lights on the tractor and everything. So we'll just carry on from what we were doing yesterday. There's a lot of seeding needing done just to get the crop in the ground. But this was obviously originally a grass field that we're changing to a wheat field, if you haven't watched the previous episode. Hopefully you have though. I'll start with the bigger end first, I think, and come back for this little bit at the side here, although it's not that small itself. And I'm just going to continue my trend of going round in circles. Probably not realistic at all, but certainly quicker. Providing you get it all, that is. I've missed bits there, but I'm not overly worried about that. It's just little bits that I've missed. Could be doing with a bigger seeder, but this one will do us for the time being until we start earning some more money. My intention is to buy that field that we were just working in, but not yet. We'll buy it around harvest time so that we can buy it with a crop already in it, although it currently has a crop in it. But we will spray it and things like that for him, or her, can't remember if it was a male or a female that owned that field, but we'll do the work in it with their equipment at their cost and then buy it as cheap as possible. So hopefully this doesn't take too terribly long. It would be nice if the worker AI was functioning the way it's supposed to, but it just isn't for some reason. I'll go back round the other way this time. It might work in other fields, but in this field it just wasn't really doing anything of use, really. Apparently he was blocked by objects, that object being the field he was in. Still did a better job than the standard farming simulator worker, I suppose. He crashed into a fence on his second row, which is kind of what you expect from them, to be honest. It's a very, very detailed map. And I like that. I like maps with a lot of detail. I also prefer bigger maps personally. I have tried maps that are nice, wide and open with ridiculously big fields, but I just don't find them that entertaining, to be honest. I tend to get bored playing them, let alone recording them. And this is a relatively small field and it is still taking quite a lot of time to seed. But we had a very unproductive day yesterday. So hopefully we're going to change that one today and have a very productive day. So every time the game autosaves, it does reduce my frame rate just a little for a few seconds. So if you do notice a little skip in the game, that is down to that. We're getting there with this field. It won't take us too long. May have to go back and get a few bits because it may annoy me. We'll find out. The bits that we can't plant are quite annoying, but it's just one of those things. Nothing I can really do about that. It's a very, very picturesque map. I should stop looking at the map and start looking at where I'm going. Probably will have to come back and get some bits. I'm missing way too much. Is this a bit I can get? It is not. Although I think there's a bit over there that I can. Can I get all of this bit by any chance? Almost. Close enough. Those bits over there need to be sorted. That bit is the bit I missed. It's too big of a bit to leave, I think. I'll come back to it once I finish this side, and then I'll get on with the other side after. I should probably time-lapse this, but I don't want to get into the habit of time-lapsing too much. A lot of the YouTubers I watch tend to time-lapse quite a lot, and in moderation it's fine, but it can be overdone sometimes, I think. But I am tempted to upgrade to Cedar relatively soon. Not sure if that's a bit I've missed. It's not. It's just a bit I can get. Same with that bit there that I've just gone over. But this video is actually my 100th upload, which I am very happy about. Quite a new channel, only a couple of months old, and I already have 100 videos uploaded when this one is uploaded, unless of course I upload something else in the meantime before this one, but I don't think I am. I think both of these are actually going up the same day I record them. But if that isn't what has happened. I'm sure there is a valid reason for that. Time restraints may be one of them, as it is currently 9 o'clock at night that I'm recording this. So hopefully I get this uploaded very soon. Obviously I have to finish recording it first and then transfer over to my rendering system. And much fun things indeed. But we'll see how we get on. I'm lucky enough to have the ability to record on one system and render on another, and I also have a second machine that I can use for rendering as well, which is quite handy actually. Makes life an awful lot easier. Means I can render at the same time I record without it being any kind of pull on my CPU, which is always a good thing. Means it can focus on running the game a bit better. Just go and get this bit over here. And I still need those top corner bits. So what I'll do in fact is come down this side. But I don't know about everyone else, but I am personally very excited for Farming Simulator 2019 to come out. The Farming Simulator series usually comes out around September time, just in time for Christmas, conveniently enough. So, only 6 months to wait. Sounds like a lot now, but it's been a very, very quick year. Feels like it was just New Year last week, but we're already at the end of March, start of April. Which is crazy. Can't believe it's flown in this quick. So that's this side done. So just got this little bit over here to do. I say a little bit, it's not really that little, is it? But we still have loads of seed left in this seeder. That's one thing I can say about the seeder, it might be small, but it can hold a lot. So I'm actually going to split this as well. We're going straight up here and then do this little section and then the other side. It would be much easier if the worker wasn't completely useless. But that's Farming Simulator workers for you. Dramatically overpaid for what they actually managed to achieve. This should only be, I think, 3 rows on the bulk of this, and a few more down the bottom. And it just leaves this triangular section up here, which would only take a couple minutes to do anyway. This will not take very long at all, I don't think. I hope. It's quite a hill to go up, actually. So, gonna do some weird shapes here. Well, that's a hill. That's a hill and a half. quite a bit of wheel slippage. Only a little bit left to do here. I don't think I can get all of this in one. And it should just be the 2 rows left to do on the long section there. And then a little triangle section at the other end. So it's turned out to be much larger field than I first thought. I thought it was going to be roughly the size of field 83, but even I suppose looking at the map, not even close. Not even a little bit close. It is quite a large field, but that is a good thing. It means we're going to have plenty of wheat and, more importantly, plenty of straw. A bit of a texture issue going on with the roof of the tractor there. I have noticed a couple of little texture issues with this tractor, but nothing that would prevent me from using it. So can I get all of that? I can indeed. That just leaves this little triangle section to come back to, and that is quite a small section, so that will only take a minute or so. I say that, it took me 20 minutes, turning around in circles every 2 seconds. It shouldn't take too long. I'm going way off course here. Managed to catch it though. Hopefully it's not too much of a hill either. It is a bit of a hill. We'll see how we get on with it. Hopefully the tractor can manage. It should be able to. It's not too bad. It's gone up steeper hills, I suppose. I missed a little bit there, but I'm going to leave that bit. That doesn't matter. I should have no problem on this section. Going down this steep hill. I'm basically coasting down it. This will not take very long at all to finish this off, and then we can move on to something else. It may have been a better idea to time-lapse this, but pointless to start one now. I do apologise about that. I bumped into my microphone there. Probably not something that many people do in this map, I would imagine. I don't get to watch as much YouTube as I used to, unfortunately. I'm too busy making content for it. But I haven't seen any videos of any of the YouTubers that I watch on a regular basis doing this field as anything other than grass. Usually everyone likes to keep grass fields as grass, and grass is obviously valuable, but yeah, there's plenty of it around. It's not like I'm going to be short of grass. Most of the map is made up of it, for example. Just depends on if I want a grass field, which in this instance, not really. Not here anyway. Or not this year on this field. I have a grass field there and a grass field over the other side of this one as well, so plenty of grass. That we will obviously need for sheep. I'm going to get sheep. I've mentioned it in a couple of my series that I'll get sheep and then never seem to get around to doing it. But in this series I will be getting sheep. Not entirely sure when, but at some point there will be sheep appear on this map. Left a few bits on that last row. Not necessarily realistic this at all. I've never actually seen anyone seed a field in this manner. And I've spent the majority of my life living in the countryside, so but it's all good. The benefit of playing a game is you can play it as you like. I'll just come around to this side. Like this. Getting my gaming tower working was a challenge. I'm not the original owner of it, it's not new or anything like that. It was in fact given to me by a good friend of mine, as he'd replaced it with a newer system. And the one I'm currently using was surplus to requirements and just kind of sitting around, not doing anything. I'd actually gone up to his to buy a car off of his dad, in fact, and he gave it to me. As if paying for a car wasn't enough, he threw in a free gaming computer, which I am very appreciative about. Saved me a considerable sum of money. But unfortunately it was not working when I got it. But that is fine because it is now. I managed to breathe a little bit of life into it. Still needs a few little tweaks here and there, a larger hard drive and the likes, but the general system itself is now working. And it is working very well. I need to buy a couple of more SSD. Well, I say a couple more. I need to buy a couple of SSDs for this machine, just so that I have more storage space while recording. So I'll use follow me to go back to the farm. That is a really bumpy path. There's a golden nugget there. Didn't even know there was golden nuggets on this map, but it appears there is. A puddle as well. I'll actually go around this way. I can hear the tractor, so he's not crashed into anything yet. This may be where he does so. And close the lorry away. Our Tatra lorry. And we'll just take our slightly glitchy tractor and put it away as well. Drop the seeder there and place the tractor in here next to it. Like so. And come over here, I think it's in this shed. Yep. And when I say this, it just fits, I mean it literally just fits. There is millimeters there. But luckily this is already full, so I can just head straight down to the field with it. Or fields. Multiple fields. Communicating is not my strong point. Go through a couple of puddles because I can. So there's quite a bare interior in this, and poor visibility. Okay then. That is bumpy. So I have no idea how wide this is actually going to be, so I'll just go into the field a little bit. I didn't go for the biggest one of these, I actually went for the smallest. Because I thought it was a bit more appropriate given that this is a smaller map. Easier to do in third person view, I presume. Well, I don't presume, it is actually easier to do this in third person. Sometimes. Never actually used this machine before. It's got quite a decent width on it. This will only take us a minute or two. I'm going to speed the time up again. So we are going to have some patches of nice fertilised grass as well. Not sure if I should fertilise the grass fields, don't know if it actually makes a difference to them. I would imagine so, because it is changing the colour of the grass on this field. So it must do something. Don't know what, but something. Just see the amount of hill that there is on this field. This is also a mod, this vehicle, self-propelled sprayer. Can't remember the brand of this mod or who made it, if I'm being honest. But I do apologise if you're watching this and you were in fact the one that made it. It's a very good mod though, I will give you credit for that, I just can't remember who you are. I will in fact look it up, and next time I'm out in it, if I remember to do so, I will let everyone know. All the mods that I have are available on the in-game mod hub. the mod menu, should I say, in the game menu. I get all of my mods there because I just find it easier to find them there. Everything in one nice convenient location. Instead of all this, what you had to do with the older farming simulators is download a mod and move it over to the mods folder, and some of them wouldn't work and some of them would, and different types of file, and, oh, it was a pain and a half. Oh, I missed a bit. I don't want to miss any spraying. It's one thing I don't want to miss any of. I want to get as much of this as possible. So I can see this bit going badly. I think I just missed a little bit on the edge there. I did. Oh, I just missed that tree. Good thing there's a bend in that tree. Not the quickest machine in the world, this one. It's actually kind of tediously slow, but not much I can do about that. It's going over some interesting terrain anyway. Oh, it's almost touching the ground on one side. It's leaving some interesting shapes to come back and do in the field as well. That's quite a decent sized field, that one as well. Field 64. I missed a bit there, but I'm not gonna bother with that bit. Is there any chance I could get this in one? I have my doubts. I suppose I could do this. And I'll need to spray field to 62 as well. But that will take like no time at all. It's that field directly across the road towards the farm. That will be done in a matter of seconds, that field. 2 or 3 passes I'd expect. I'll just keep the sprayer on, in fact. Across the world's roughest road. I should probably have a speed limit on that road, to be honest. 5 miles an hour. Or risk of spine shatter. Yeah, so it's not going to take very long to do this field. This is quite a small field, to be honest. I may buy a harvester of our own, but at this point I won't be buying it right now. I'll probably get a class dominator. I've not used one of them in Farming Simulator 17 actually. I used to use them all the time in 15, but not in 17. And given that class isn't a brand that Giants have a license for, unfortunately, it's nice to see them. And thanks to the ability to mod, we are able to see them in game. I get that a little bit over there that I missed because it's going to drive me up the wall if I don't. So we'll just fold this up. This is a big courtyard area we've got here. tempted to go and collect that golden nugget. So that is cows, I think, over there. Can't really tell by the map. Yeah, it's cows. I've got sheep and chickens all in this one farm. We'll refill it while I'm here. B as well, ready for the next time. That'll be all the money we earned on the in our contract job gone, just like that. I think we've got a little bit of it left. Close that shed up, and I'm going to take the transit out for a little drive. But where will we take it to? Let's have a little look. Where are we? We're down here, we're surrounded by relatively large fields. Maybe go over to field 57. We'll head down that way, see what is available. Field 57, oops, looks very nice. This has beacons. Very nice. I opted for it in just white. I want to go down that way. Where can I go down that way? I don't think I can from in here. Oh, I can. Like I said, I've played this map before, but not an awful lot. So there are still some things that I need to get used to. So that's the field that we're wanting to go into. So what I'll do is I'll just turn the van around. And park it up over here. Turn the beacons and things like that on. Not a fan of that tractor. No. Currently no mission available. There we go. Oh, definitely not. That's even worse. That I can do. I can do that. Not sure if that front weight's actually going to attach to this tractor. No, it would appear not. Well, hopefully we don't need it. I just reversed into it and turned it. That's just great. So it looks like we're planting barley. Is this the same seeder as I have? It is indeed. So this isn't going to be an overly quick job, especially without a front weight. Definitely struggling for traction, and we're all over the place. Let's see if we can get it done. Going to at least try. Front weight is kind of needed though. Badly. That'll just make it interesting. Put the beacons on. Might as well make it a party. So the idea here would be to try and keep momentum going, otherwise we'll wheelie every time we try and pull away. So I am just going to skip the corners for now. Might have to come back to them later, but we'll find out. I would have been quicker with my tractor. I wonder if I can go back and get my tractor and do this. This is quite a nice little tractor. Not very powerful though, especially not on this hill. In fact, we may have an issue. We're digging a hole. We will make it up this hill. I insist upon it. Good time for a screenshot. And if I can just get my HUD back. I don't think we're going to actually pass this mission at all, given that I can't even get up this hill. I do like how they've done that though, that the wheels sink into the terrain. I think we're currently doing a little bit of a wheelie. There we go. I told you we'd make it. No problem. So I need to try and avoid going up that way somehow. Luckily there is a bit of give, otherwise we would fail this, because without a front weight we're kind of in a bad place. For 4 minutes to do one lap of the field, that's not anything to boast about. Let's try turning around and getting some of this at the same time. No, too far. And we're wheeling. That's what I wanted to avoid. I want to go up this way. Yeah, so we've done about a quarter of the field roughly. A little bit less than a quarter in 5 minutes, so we might make it. We are still slowing down going up this side though, which is a concern. Not as much though. I should find this bit much easier. I don't mind a hilly map if you've got a front weight. Yeah, just coasting down here at 12 miles an hour. Easy as that. Struggling to keep this thing in a straight line. It's going to come to a complete stop on that hill there though. I think that's even steeper than the other side. Let's find out. It's not stopped yet. Oh. Come on, you can make it. This is certainly a challenge and a half, which is why you need the right equipment. This is not something we'd have an issue with on our own fields because we have correct equipment. Not sure I want to do any more work for this particular farmer. He seems like he doesn't know what he's doing. Giving me a front weight for a tractor I don't even have. Any second now we'll make it to this end. I'm missing loads. And hopefully it lets me away with some of it. Probably won't let me away with it all. As long as it lets me away with bits and pieces of it, that will be fine. I can always go back and do the corners, for example. As long as we get to the halfway mark before the 10-minute mark, we are sitting comfortable. Does mean that this video is going to be longer, but I think it's worth it for seeing this tractor dig itself a hole. Up the hill here. I shouldn't have accepted this job, to be honest. It's more my fault than the guy who offered me the equipment. And there's that complete stop that I was talking about. Yeah, that's it, just dig all the seed back out, right down to the rim there. That was cool. Hopefully he doesn't mind holes in his field. So far so good, we're about halfway. Tractor's still struggling badly. Try to slide down the hill sideways and everything. But it's a bit more of an even coverage this time. And this hill is now getting to the point where it's going to be steep on either side. The only way to fix that is we're on side to side, but that will just take far too long. Way longer than we have available to us. So obviously going down that side, it gives us a quick boost, gets a lot of coverage done with no effort or fight from the tractor. Don't know if we have any use for a barley field, but we may buy this field too. We've gone all this effort, we would actually be as well buying it. Look at that, it just digs right in. This game has come a very long way from 2008. Can't wait to see what they have in store for FS19. Looking forward to that like there is no tomorrow. Struggling up this hill too. Not digging any holes yet though, so not the end of the road. There's the holes, right down to the rim of the tractor. The rim of the back wheel, should I say. Tractor's back wheel. He's digging a hole. He's ruined his field. Hopefully he won't mind too much and he'll still give us some money for it. Luckily the cedar is cultivating right behind us anyway, so it's kind of filling the holes in. Or would kind of fill the holes in if it was actually digging holes. But you know what I'm trying to say. Now I'm more worried about sliding down the hill sideways. So we've got 8 minutes left, and about a quarter, well, just a little bit under a quarter of this field to go. It would be good if he was asking us to plough it, then we would be finished by now. We would have quarried his field for him instead. Easiest part of the field by far. It was after the turnaround at the top. And we'll go around here too. Gonna start getting some issues with turning around, I think. Hopefully we finish the field before it becomes too much of an issue. Too time consuming. Getting there. A couple more passes and I'll be happy. So swing it around here, drifting round that corner there. Turning a tractor around the way it's meant to be done. Almost finished. 7 minutes left. Hopefully he lets us finish soon. Yeah, so this is where the turning starts to become an issue. So they're basically jackknifing the tractor. Last little slither. It'll start filling in as it gets smaller. Which unfortunately is quite slow. Maybe this last pass will be enough. I hope. Don't think this tractor's got much left in it. And the pie chart is full. So there we go. He really gave us £3,000 for that. That was earned. We'll just head back to the farm. See, in the front of this, it's the same as the standard van, but you can see some things in the back there. I don't like the shape of those mirrors, they bug me. Don't know why I've never noticed that before. I don't know if that's the same on the normal van, but the shape of that mirrors are just annoying. Oh, frame rate dropped there for some reason. But I'll just turn everything off and open up the back doors of the van so that I can show you what's inside. It is a mobile workshop. Everything you need. Really big grinder there. A torch. Tool shelf. Work lamps, jack. Air compressor at the side there as well. As you can see. Or is that some kind of... looks more like a generator. I have no idea. It's a thing. Another little jack there, some ladders, and a toolbox. So just close this van back up. Close the doors on the shed. For security reasons, of course. The other thing I want to show you is the house is enterable. You have a little flat here with industrial light switches. And then you have your little flat in here. An industrial hoover. And a parcel. Unfortunately the fire's not lit, but there's a little forklift up there. And of course, here's an entrance to the back garden, which we went running through earlier. I'll just turn the lights off. But yes, that is all for today's episode. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, then don't forget to hit that like button. It does help a lot. And if you're new around here, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and you can also hit the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new episode. But that is all I have to say on the matter. I would appreciate any new subscribers or any thumbs up from existing subscribers. And don't forget to comment if there's anything you'd like to let me know. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.